How does that look? Oh, let me see. Oh, my goodness. That is perfect. Perfect. You know, of all my children, you are definitely the most creative.
You know, you say that to all of us.
Yeah, of course. Of course, of course. But then you're going to do the same thing with all your babies. You are?
You know, when I found out I was pregnant and I got over the shock, I started thinking about all the Christmases we'd spend here. I could hardly wait to see my little baby playing under the tree with Paul.
Craig. You still think about him all the time, don't you?
You know, I can't stop. I want to, but I can't. And if I slipped up in front of Craig,
It's okay. It's all right. You didn't. You didn't.
This is Craig's baby. I need to be happy about that.
Oh, sweetheart.
I'm sick of this endless parade of doctors in and out of my wife's room, observing her fascinating case, and nobody has any answer.
Mr. Rand, we don't have answers.
She cannot go back into this coma. She just can't. I promised Rosanna that you have to help her. You have to.
We're doing our best.
Karma. It's frightening. It always gets you in the end.
Here you go. This will settle your stomach.
No. I can face food right now. But I'm sure in half an hour I'll be ravenous for something insane like anchovy pizza and chocolate milk.
Oh, wait a minute. Now you're making me sick. Okay, now I've got to go on over to the church and bring these decorations. Would you like to come with me? Yes, you should stay here and take a little nap, okay?
No, I should go home. I should go home. I'm just afraid to be around Craig.
Why? Why? Didn't you tell me that you didn't think he could ever harm you? I mean, if you feel for 1 minute that...
Mama, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. I'm just afraid that I'm gonna slip, just like I did today, and then...
And then what? And then what? He'll take his anger out on Paul?
The only reason that Rosanna's in that room is because you put her there. If you hadn't run her off the road...
She wouldn't have gotten in a coma in the first place. She wouldn't be in danger of that happening again. It's the same tune, different day. I am well aware of your take
And
on
that
things.
crack about karma
was completely accurate. Rosanna has had a miraculous recovery. And as I understand it, the only threat to that miracle is stress. Are you causing your wife any undue stress?
You stay away from me, Craig.
You stay away from my wife. It'll do wonders for your marriage. And probably help Rosanna's health in the bargain.
What about Meg's health? You care about that?
Are you implying that I would hurt my wife?
But last time one of your wives ran to me, you almost killed her.
It was an accident.
Planning any more accidents, Craig?
So after he found out I slept with Paul, Craig used my phone to trick Paul into meeting him.
What happened?
Threats, accusations, I don't know. All I know for sure is that I don't want Paul hurt, and I don't want Craig to end up in jail.
And as miserable as it makes you, staying with Craig, you're still determined to do it.
He loves this baby so much already, Mama, and he loves me. And all he's asked me to do is stay away from Paul. That's all. I can do that.
Your concern for Meg is touching, but it's misguided. My wife is no longer your concern.
Right, because she's pregnant with your child. But what happens to Meg after she's had your baby?
I become a father?
And what happens to Meg?
That's up to Meg.
I know how you operate. You're going to take her child away from her, aren't you?
Meg wants a family. So do I. Stay away from my wife.
Listen, can I fix you something to eat before you go?
No, I'll pick up something out there real quick, and then I'll have dinner with Craig. My appetite is always better at night. I promise I will clean my plate, okay? You don't need to worry.
I'm not worried about your appetite. I'm worried about you. I want you to be happy.
Sometimes I am. Even though the test results didn't turn out the way I wanted them, I know Craig is determined to be a better father. And I know he can be if he feels secure in our marriage.
Well, then you're going to have to do as he asked. You're going to have to stay as far away as possible from Paul.
I will. For the sake of my family. I have to.
Doctor, listen, this episode, Rosanna being like this again, it seems like it might have been avoidable. Dr. Cutler says that her system may have suffered neurological damage from being in a coma for so long, but then, well, somebody else said that it might have been related to stress, and I want to know what you think.
I honestly don't know. But she needs you, so take care of yourself. Get yourself a decent meal and some rest.
And onion rings. And chili with cheese. Calcium.
Okay.
I'm pregnant. I don't eat all day, and then out of nowhere I get these massive cravings.
No problem.
Oh, and a triple chocolate milk. Thank you.
Okay.
You sure that's the best thing for the baby?
How's Rosanna doing?
Pretty much the same.
I'm sorry. I hope she recovers soon.
Yeah, me too.
You look tired.
I just saw your husband.
Where?
At the hospital.
Did he say anything?
He knows our little secret. He said he'd forgiven you. You sleep with me, a man that he loathes, and he opens his arms and takes you back into his life. Does that sound like the Craig Montgomery that we both know and one of us seems to have some kind of strange affection for?
I'll admit I didn't know whether to believe him at first. But he surprised me. He seems to be very understanding.
He's very understanding because you're carrying his baby.
He loves me.
I'm sure that he wants you to believe that. Meg, once you have his baby, all bets are off.
I'm sure there would have been a lot of men that would have written me off after what I've done. But Craig's not one of them. And I'm sure he probably wanted to stop loving me, but he couldn't. He's never been able to. Even after I plotted against him, even after I was grieving for you,
cheated on
even
him
after...
with me. You really think he's just gonna let that slide? Did you tell him that we both wanted this baby to be mine?
But now we all know it's not.
Hey. You okay?
It's nothing, I'm fine.
Is it the baby?